Hello, Tomu, and welcome to your deck review. For those of you joining us on YouTube for the first time, this is a series where I, Maulhound, a known hater, denier of all things fun, will politely and lovingly look at your commander deck's weird little PP. Your PP being your premise and your practicum. Your premise is the idea behind your deck, it's what you hope it can do. Your practicum is what it actually does. It's all the problems you run into trying to make the dream happen. We're going to spend a little bit of time talking about their idea, if it's achievable in the bracket they want, if they'll have to make compromises, and then we'll look at what they have in the deck and what we can do about that. So Tomu did send me a Zip Bomb as a primer. This is a Zuza Primal Surge. We are okay with Primal Surge not being cast. We want to be able to win when Primal Surge is cast, but it's all right if all we do is cast a bunch of other nefarious bullshit. We have some infinite Kodama combos. I think we have a few other land-based infinites. I'm not really going to mess with these. What Tomo has asked for is, are there things I can cut for better options? They call out duplicate by name, and like there's no way this is the most appropriate thing to be running. So there are things we have in here that we can cut for better options. Are there is there a possibility of this going to bracket 4? Is there something that we have to cut to make this acceptable in bracket 3? Yeah, are there any things we have to cut because they're too good in bracket 3? I think so. I'm going to start with does this have potential at bracket 4? Yes and no. Like, you have potential at bracket 4 to the same degree that everybody has potential at bracket 4. I think if we want Primal Surge to be a deterministic, I put everything in my deck onto the field. For anybody not familiar with this card, it puts the top card of your library on the field. If it's a permanent, then you do it over and over again. So if your deck is all permanents, heyo, game's over now. So if we want to be all permanents, I do think you're going to be so low on interaction and so low on tutors that you're going to have a really, really hard time. And I think you will get into the common bracket 4 problem of the things we do to make the Primal Surge plan better are immediately going to overshadow the Primal Surge plan or push you in a different direction. Because my first thought would be, well, we could run a different commander. We could run like Yisan because he tutors in the command zone. But as soon as we start doing that, we're just going to go for a different combo. But I do think it is possible for you to give it a shot through the power of fast mana. Many things are achievable. So in terms of anything in here that is too good for bracket 3, there was one synergy you called out by name. Let me scroll all the way back up and find this. Nissa, Who Shakes the World, plus Springheart Nantuko. What does Nissa, Who Shakes the World do? Okay, where are we at? We don't have... Oh wait, it can't even find this Nissa, so there's some type of other... Alright, let me just find them on Scryfall. Nissa Who Shakes, baby. Oh, so we would make Infinite Forest? Is there... What is happening? This has happened twice in the... Because this doesn't even win you the game when you do it. You get... It's an infinite creature combo that requires you to... Because we have to have our commander out, probably. We have to get Springheart Nantuko enchanted onto a... Let me work through this combo for anybody who's not familiar with the ball here. Springheart Nantuko can make copies of stuff for 2 mana if you enchant a creature with it. Now, if that enchanted creature is a land, we would make a copy of the land. I'm not sure how that would work with, like, would that land still be a creature, or would it have summoning sickness, or would you just be able to tap it for mana immediately? Since you are saying it would push you into bracket 4, I'm imagining that it would be able to tap immediately. So you have Springheart Nantuko enchanted on a creature land, you play a different land, you tap it to pay the 2 mana because Nissa, Who Shakes the World, gets you an additional green anytime you tap a forest. New creature, landfall trigger, tap that new land for 2, and then you can get you can't get infinite mana out of that unless we have another way to modulate it, but you can get infinite tapped creatures. I think for a combo that requires, that doesn't seem bracket 4 to me. I wonder what, like, is there a definition of the brackets that I'm tripping on? Because this is either we have to assemble this on board and then pass a turn, or we have to play this out of hand with Azusa. I mean, maybe it's just because Azusa can put so many lands into play, it's possible for this to come down before turn 6, but that seems a lot to me like that's coming down prior to turn 6 in a table where you get a god hand and there's no interaction, which is when bracket 3 games should end before turn 6, because the turn 6 clock is an expectation. But I would say somebody getting a perfect combo hand and nobody playing removal, like, I would call, like, this is a bracket 3 win con. Deployed in one big turn from hand because of steadily accrued resources. So if I have my commander on the field, I've played a ton of lands, I can take a big turn with Nissa, animating a land, enchanting it with Nantuko, playing another land. You're not forced into bracket 4. Surely not. There are some people who seem to be under the belief that any 2 cards that can go infinite together push you into bracket 4, and that's just not true. Like, it's just not. So you're good on that one. So let's keep it pushing. You said right now the deck works when I'm able to get sacked to get forest land along with playing lands from the graveyard. You're gonna get Mole Man once he's released. The deck's quite expensive. Da 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 da. That's okay. Dora! I don't know what that means, but that's awesome. Play a land, draw a card, sure. We have a lot of Eldrazi. So it seems like the plan is what I would recommend for this type of thing. I'm gonna jam a bunch of ramp in my first 2 turns, and then I'm just gonna go crazy threat, crazy threat, crazy threat, crazy threat. My worry, both with the effectiveness of this deck and trying to get to Primal Surge, I understand we're all right with not doing it every game. I would like if we could do it more often. I feel like the problem you're always going to get into is going to be running out of cards to play. That's the problem I've seen every Azusa deck ever get into. And the land recursion plan, I think, is cutting into the main way I can imagine us getting more cards to play, which is playing future sight engines. So you had, what was his name? You had Courser of Crufix already. I personally would be all in on play lands from top, cast creatures from top. I would be more in on play lands from top than I would be on cast spells from top, but there are some overlaps, like Case of the Locked Hothouse. I think that might be one of the few overlaps. Because I would want to be in a position of, like, I have to draw gas. Everything I draw has to be some crazy fuck you card. It either has to blow out your board, it has to give me a massive damage threat, it has to be my combo piece, it has to be a huge card draw engine. And I don't think the way we get there is the way we get to that is not by playing lands from the graveyard. Playing lands from the graveyard is a path to making a truly ridiculous amount of mana. But I would imagine it leads to some variance issues. Like here, we don't have turn 1 ramp, so I'm just going to mulligan that hand. We have Utopia Sprawl, fuck yeah. We have Primal Surge in hand, we win! Alright, so we might have to ignore some of the things in this playtest. So we get Azusa down. Bam, bam. So many lands, fuck yeah. So now we have 5 mana. We can Ashaya. We can tap this land for Birds of Paradise next turn. So now, what is going to save us is the Endstone. If Endstone goes bye-bye, we in trouble. And we're going to be casting the Endstone with nothing else to do and no protection for it. And this is, in comparison to something like Case of the Locked Hothouse, this is something people will spend removal on. That's the other thing I want to try to get across is how you navigate this deck from a threat assessment standpoint. If somebody has fucking Beast Within, I don't think they're Beast Withinning Augur of Autumn. But if we play the Endstone, if we play the 10 Rings, which would probably be a pretty good draw engine for this deck, you play these cards, people are going to go, ah, if I shoot that, I stop them totally. Versus Augur of Autumn is like pretty goddamn good for the same reason, and it's unlikely people are going to shoot it. Like if this was Augur, we go, okay, ha ha ha, now I draw gas. Beautiful. Then we can go, let's see, we have 6 mana here. We're up to 9 mana. We're 1 mana short of Primal Surge, so I guess we just play this and we like threaten the board wipe. We're not actually going to do it, but we threaten 1. And now we Primal Surge and then we win. So here, we're still lacking that turn 1 ramp, so I mulligan. We get the turn 1 ramp. So bam bam. God, these colorless, not being able to make a second green pip is killing me. So we do this. I'm gonna go get a forest because otherwise we have nothing to spend the mana on. So like here, we have the graveyard strategy, which is good. It's gonna get us a lot of value. I would honestly rather be able to make sure, I don't even know if I like Craterhoof in this deck, to be quite frankly, because he doesn't give haste. But we at least know that it's like big fucked up card. If I have big fucked up card on top of my library, I'm happy. So I play Perennial Behemoth. I can replay this and get 1 more forest, and then I can replay this, and then everything's tapped. Oh, shuffling is pretty powerful too. You do have so many fetch lands that I do think there's a world where these work synergistically in the sense of like, okay, I know what's coming next. Is it not the heat that I need? Fetch land. Now is it a land to get to more gas, or now is it like the gas that I do want? Then we have 6, 8 mana. Fucking Slam Avenger of Zendikar, baby. We can spend 1 more mana to go get a forest and shuffle this shit up again. Cityscape Leveler, I'm very happy with that. And I don't think we love... I just don't think we love the Nissa as much as we love being able to like... Not guarantee. As much as we love being able to influence that that my next turn is going to be set up good. Because most of what you're doing is I'm kind of going shields down to enter Value Town. We got to go up on lands. These playtests are really fucking my play from the top strategy. Come on, man. But that is where I would be to assist with gas out problems. I would not play Emeritus of Abundance. I think that one can be cut. I think I would actually cut Ancient Green Warden just because it's the most expensive of these, and there's already so much shit for you to do. I'm not convinced that you need a trigger doubler. Color's pretty good. I think this is in the right mindset. I think Recycle probably works pretty well. These are all for the Kodama combo. That's fine. I don't think that I would put this many bad cards towards it. Because we're making it maximum. Well, I guess we could theoretically have Ancient Green Warden on the field, but that's pretty like Fantasyland is we just make a handful of 2/2s. Like I would be seeing most of my creature token generation as I am creating chump blockers to survive until I get to my big fat Eldrazi or until I get to my Primal Surge. So I could see shaving one or two of these or some type of play from top engine, or just to get to like maybe 42 to 44 lands territory. Uh, I really don't like Oblivion Stone. This is way too expensive. You can for sure cut this. I think you can definitely cut Duplicant as well because it's not going to give you the abilities of the killed creature, which is really rough. I don't think I would play Devourer of Destiny. I think a thing we are kind of desperately missing in terms of interaction is how get creatures, right? Like we have Bahamut. We can use stuff that gets rid of like any permanent or any non-land permanent, but then we're paying a lot of mana for stuff that normally does not cost as much mana. So I'm thinking of stuff like Ogla. Like this is cheaper. It's going to get a creature off the board. It is going to get artifacts and enchantments off the board. Do we have a human? She's a human. Oh, and we can even protect Kogla if we need to. So I would care more about Kogla. I would care more about like Apex Altasaur. And this is, of course, your mileage is going to vary based on what your pod is doing. But I feel like we have a really good control scheme set up for the non-creature players. And then for the creature players, we're just kind of hoping that the token army is going to do enough, which is not a bad shout. But it doesn't seem like we're getting to 8 to 10 mana as quickly as most of like the green believers would like us to think. I think we get to 5 to 7 mana just tremendously fast, right? Because we get a Zeus a turn 2, Eldrazi Temple's crazy. Play this, we go get a forest. And then next turn, I go Conduit of Worlds. I play my 3 lands. I go get 3 forests. Never mind, you get there fast as fuck. You get there fast as fuck, boy. Oh, and this still just gets rid of a creature. Oh, hold on, yeah. Duplicant dead in the ground. Duplicant dead in the ground. The big, like, Eldrazi, the big Ugins that can get rid of fucking anything, great. But this is just creature removal. I think another thing... What else could be? There's Legend of Kyoshi. Yeah, I would love to draw 2 cards right now. Duplicant could make it more, but I don't want to try to guess at what that's going to be. But I think these are all tapped. We play all these tapped. I don't know, say don't fuck with me and pass. And here is kind of where, like, we have to get a big Duplicant turn, and then we have to get a big Legend of Kyoshi turn. So this is where I would really, really like some top deck access, because I don't want to draw this. This is a good playtest to showcase the potential synergy of recursion, like some recursion plus some top deck access. Because holy fuck, do I not want to play Utopia Sprawl next turn. So I play in Shuffle Escape Tunnel. I have Kodama. I have half of my combo. That doesn't win me the game instantly, but it is a pretty big guy. Personally, I'm not happy with them, so I'm going to shuffle again. He can't still be on top. Shuffle again, Ugin, shuffle again. Oh, it's a bad land. But then if I could play from the top... No, we're stuck here. We draw. We have Ugin the Ineffable. Really don't love this interaction package, but I'm really not sure what to do about it without using any of our venerable instants and sorceries. I think one thing you would benefit from is Bane of Progress. I don't think we are using... We are using artifacts or enchantments, though. Could we afford to... How many of these could we afford to abandon? I don't think enough to make it work. That is tough. I'm trying to think of what we can do from a board wipe or soft board wipe standpoint. That is the hole that I'm seeing here. I'm seeing some very, very good answers to certain stuff, but all we really have for, okay, the entire board's out of control, which is the normal problem I always see in bracket 3. When I play bracket 3, it's never, okay, we have to stop whoever and then the game's chill. It's always, okay, we have to stop whoever, but then that puts thing 2 in the lead with thing 3 right behind. And so I am dissatisfied with the idea of spending like 9 mana to mildly inconvenience the problem without really jumping us ahead. I would almost rather be like insular, isolationist, xenophobic country in a Civ 5 run and just be like, fuck it, slam 10 rings, try to get to my game winning thing sooner. Because I don't think like tap out for one massive fucko on like turn 5, tap out for one massive fucko turn 6, if we're not trying to immediately convert to lethal combat damage, can keep the board down enough. So I'm just gonna cut on vibes, because I do think you want some type of play from top synergy. I do think you want at minimum Kogla, if not additionally Apex Altasaur. So I would cut Devourer of Destiny, Duplicant, Oblivion Stone, World Breaker, use Social Engineering, Zendikar's Royal, I would turn the Endstone into the 10 rings. I would cut Ancient Green Warden. And I would cut Emeritus of Abundance. Those are the things that I think are holding you back from the place you want to be. I think you put in the stuff you want to be on. I don't think it takes you to bracket 4. I think bracket 4 requires a more complete rebuild, and you definitely can't be doing like my interaction is just tentacle monsters. We have to be on more hey, I'm mono green, I'm hoping none of you combo off in the first 4 turns so I can. And everything is just like gas, get through my deck, flood the board in Crater Hoof, float enough mana for a 12 mana Finale of Devastation, find Primal Surge. Oh wait, we can't Finale of Devastation because we can't run on permanents. Find Primal Surge, do it then. Like, you would have to, you could play like fucking Rex Sage or like Druid of Purification. There's a couple cheap creature options, but I would no longer be going, okay, I'll get to 9 mana on turn 5 and then tap out for Bahamut, and that is how I will keep the game going. That part just won't work in bracket 4. So the interaction and draw section would probably have to be totally rebuilt for bracket 4, but you could try to make a version of this deck for bracket 4. Then I would consider Apex Altasaur in the place of one of these giant guys to just like, I'm going to knock out 4 really valuable creatures versus 1. I would definitely be running Kogla. And then I think the other thing that I would try to be on is doing those play from top. Because I would just hate to be in a situation where I have 2 cards in hand and I don't know what's coming off and it's a basic forest and then my fucking head explodes. So if anybody has any other ideas, if you've played a Primal Surge deck, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I wish you the very best and I hope this helps.